Arundhati is basically the love of my life. We have supported each other over a long time. So her name is Susanna Arundhathi Roy, and she cut off the Susanna, but we always called her Sue as a short form for Susanna. What I have to say about my sister is that she is actually a carbon copy of my father. The way she speaks, her mannerisms, her sense of humor, all that is my father's. The point is that we haven't spent much time with our father. Because of that reason, not many people know that this is the case. They always think that she is my mother's daughter, but I have to say that she's actually my father's daughter. My mother used to work in a company called McNeil and Barry in Calcutta. So my mother was actually working in the same company as my father's brother and my mother's brother. So that's how she met my father. And that's how, I don't know if they fell in love and got married or not, but the marriage happened. She and my father had separated a long time ago. We were just little kids, and we really didn't know what happened between the two of them. Of course, alcohol was one of the reasons, but other than that, maybe irresponsibility, something like that. But we didn't know the real reason. And she was very apprehensive of Nicky. Even when he was in Kerala, she never wanted to meet him or say hello to him. Basically, if you look at Mother Mary Comes to Me, it probably tells 70% of our life. The other 30% is missing because she wasn't there. There's a life that I had with my mother because I was living here in Chennai and Cochin in the south, so I always was in touch with her, and my wife was working with her as well. So, I think it was in 1983, we went on a world trip together, me and my mother. I have to say it was the worst days in my life. And the point is that Arundhati never knew what happened during that period of time. So for me, the memories are not as vivid as hers. Only now, after Mother Mary, my memories are coming back. And sometimes I think I should write a book to fill in that 30%. I really admire Arundhati for the fact that even though, that 7-year gap when she didn't come home was some sort of a revolt maybe. But otherwise, right through her life, in the aspect of love, my Arundhati has given my mother much more love than I have. I think my mother has hurt her, especially during her last years, much more than she's hurt me. Said a lot of bad things, and she would call me and say, "Mom said this," and I would ask her, "What did you say back?" No, I just joked back. So there was like a relationship where she really cared and loved my mother much more than I did. So I would say, if you look at all the 3 books that are written, the characters in those books are mostly family characters, if you look at it. Just before she died, actually, she had a registered will and she wanted to change it. So the lawyer, who was an ex-Pallikudam student, he was fed up of changing the will. So he said, "I'm not going to come here." But she got somebody else to write the will again and changed a lot of it. Finally, when we were discussing the will, we were discussing the registered will. Then this person who had got the will rewritten, he said, "But there's another will." My chartered accountant said the last and final will is what what is relevant. So the last will that she wrote is what was executed basically. But she must have written 150 wills. I mean, that's correct. It was my uncle who was fighting with my mother about that. So I actually took my uncle's side, and she was very angry about that. But then she threw me out of the house. And so I'm saying both Arundhati and me, my mother had money at that stage. Both of us have come up from zero. We had no money. We came up from zero. Literally zero. My sister has given her a lot of money. She forgot the fact that my sister gave her that money. Until I told my sister, you go and check up and find out and let her know. And she did that. So you can live in denial. It's a very easy thing for you to do. After my mother threw me out of the house, there was this friend of hers called Choti Satyan, and a college friend who also worked in the school for a little while. And one day she came to my house and she said, this cannot happen. So Choti went to my mother's house. She called me. I went there. And for some time, she made a big face and things like that. And then everything was cool after that. For some reason, my mother wanted her to get out of the school. And she also wanted it. I mean, she wanted it a long time ago, my Arundhati. And anyway, finally, she decided that she's going to exit. And that was about 4 or 5 months before my mother passed away. And so when Mum passed away, there was nothing left as inheritance for my sister. And I really felt that wasn't right, after I never persuaded Susie, my sister, not to get out of what we call a partnership, but she was quite adamant, and so she got out. But then after this happened, my whole thing was she has to have something. So on the spur of the moment, I said, you take the house. She was very happy. I mean, because that's a beautiful house and she had a lot of attachment to it. And so she had never thought of it that way, that, okay, I can have just a house and the property. So the house is hers now. She's renovated it and it's looking very beautiful. So I also say there's an aspect of luck in this whole thing, whether it's my mother or my sister or even me. I have been very lucky through life.